I'm flying a rented Cessna 172 in a beautiful September sky in Wisconsin with a couple of friends. For about 30 minutes, there's this unusual radio silence. All of a sudden, I hear air traffic control say, November 62681, turn left heading 350, land immediately East Troy. Wait, what? Normally, it's the pilot who initiates communication. ATC continues. You've entered a TFR and an intercept has been sent to your position. Now, before he even completes the sentence, an F-16 comes screaming by in front of us. I'm full afterburner. I mean, this guy is so close, I'm pretty sure his eyes are blue. I am in trouble. Now, I'm just taking a couple of friends to what we call $100 hamburgers. We're not here to get blown out of the sky. I wonder if this has something to do with the president. You see, when the president's in town, the FAA puts up a no-fly zone. It's called a TFR, or temporary flight restriction. And it's a 30-mile circle where nobody is allowed to fly. And I know the president is in Milwaukee, which is 40 miles away from us. GPS is a basic form of artificial intelligence. Give it 2 points, the algorithm can plot an optimal course on the ground or in the air. Now, what's going on? I am clearly outside the no-fly zone. So I'm getting set up to land, and I'm kind of a trance. I'm chanting, I don't want to lose my license. I don't want to lose my license, over and over again. My passengers, they're white as ghosts. They're frozen. They're about to panic, and I can't. I have to land the plane. All I want to do is land the plane. I'm setting to land. I make my approach, and I land. F-16 peels away. I'm on the ground, I'm safe, but of course, a little bit rattled. And it's a ghost town. There's nobody there. After about a minute, there's a lone figure comes walking out towards me. It's a manager with a phone in his hand. He says, this is for you. Is it my mom? No, Secret Service. And I talk to the agent, give my name, my information, and of course, I apologize. He hangs up the phone. It rings again within a minute. Mom? No. FBI. Now, they ask even more questions. They want to know where I lived as a child, my parents' names, my mother's maiden name. I mean, what am I, a sleeper agent? Hang up the phone. It rings a third time. Okay, I really hope it's Mom this time. No, FAA. And they want to say, we need to schedule a meeting. Like, all right, we'll schedule a meeting. So we scheduled a meeting, and it goes something like this. They want to meet me. I gather up my flight plan, my charts, and my story. Okay? I know I'm in trouble, and I'm going to fix it. I have this feeling that I'm not in the wrong here. And I knew that the TFR was 40 miles away from us. This 30-mile presidential zone was nowhere near me. My AI-assisted GPS told me so. But as it turns out, when it comes to the president, the TFR zones are not connected to where he's supposed to be, but where he actually is. And on this day, the president moved and didn't have the courtesy to call and let me know. So a month later, I do gather up my charts, and I go to the FAA office, and I go to the administrator's office and lay out my story and tell him exactly what had happened. After a few minutes of reviewing the information, he asks some questions about my flight, my plan, and one very important question is posed to me. He's not even looking up. He's just going through stuff and talking, asks me a question. He says, who's at fault here? Now, before setting up my review, I researched dozens of similar cases. In every single case, the pilot gave a reason, excuse, for the transgression. And in every single case, that pilot's license was suspended or even revoked. I knew this was a very important and very serious question. And there's a code that every pilot is taught. When you're in the air, you are in command. Everything that happens is ultimately your responsibility. The term we use is PIC, or pilot in command. Even if your aircraft has a mechanical issue or navigational defect, the PIC is responsible. You can't blame a faulty engine or a wonky GPS unit if you get in trouble. Remembering that I was the pilot in command that day, I had but one answer, even though the president didn't have the courtesy to check in. I looked up at the FAA administrator, and I clearly said, I'm at fault here, sir. He had, for the very first time, decided to look up at me, pause, and said, you know, in my 22 years here at the FAA, you're the first pilot that ever said that. Boom, no suspension. No suspension. I am responsible. It worked, you know? And responsibility is a funny thing. Responsibility, it's a purely human experience. And stories used to be a purely human experience. Not anymore. Now that AI can create content, stories are no longer privy to just human beings. Stories are so fundamental to our learning and development and communication. It's almost baked into our DNA. In fact, stories predate language itself. Very recently in Indonesia, they found a cave drawing that was 52,000 years old. It outlines a human interacting with a pig. Now, I'm guessing it's a visual storytelling of a hunt, not how to take care of a pet. Regardless, beyond teaching Junior how to hunt, stories are foundational catalysts to our meaning, to our feeling, and emotion. Human stories evoke emotion. Of course, human stories can do more than just make us laugh, or cry, or feel. Stories can reshape our culture, pass down wisdom, even create public policy. And creating a great story, one with impact, used to take weeks or months or years. Ask anyone who's written a dissertation, a screenplay, or even a book, and you'll find 1,000 more that gave up, quit, or didn't even start. AI can do all of this in a blink of an eye. But can AI tell a story? Sure. Log into any AI service and try it out. It's incredible. Can AI write faster than you? Absolutely. The speed with which this stuff is created, it's amazing. Can AI do research? Yes, it can collate research for you. It can write headlines. Writer's block is a thing of the past. In the shadow of AI, however, there are critical new elements of storytelling that we must ask ourselves. Can AI experience an event? Can AI feel emotions? Can AI be responsible? You may have a crazy story or a death-defying feat like mine. Perhaps you just want to pass down your legacy to your great-grandchildren. Maybe you simply want to use AI to write a speech. AI is wonderful at evolving tool for creating and making new ideas. It's a great tool for speed and productivity. Its power is accelerating faster than most of us can even keep up. And AI will change nearly every industry on the planet. In the very near future, AI will be able to take medicine to the precision level. Instead of one drug being administered to thousands or hundreds of thousands of people, AI can take billions of bits of data, collate it with what you have for breakfast and your genes, and create a custom cocktail prescription just for you. Entertainment. You can give AI an idea for a movie, create characters, a storyline, and it can create a Hollywood-level Steven Spielberg movie for you. Software, oh my gosh. You have an idea for software, ask AI to create it for you, and it's not just the foreseeable future. It can do that right now. Call it irony if you want, but the developers unleashing this technology are going to be among the first to be hit with the disruption. It doesn't matter if you're a creator or a consumer, your life will be impacted by AI. In fact, it already is. PricewaterhouseCoopers states that 73% of businesses have already adopted AI. A recent study by McKinsey predicts that by 2030, AI could potentially contribute up to $13 trillion to the global economy. Even further, OpenAI's CEO Sam Altman said AGI could create $100 trillion of gross domestic product in just the next 10 years. Now, it's impossible for us to fathom a number like $1 trillion. It's much easier for us to relate AI to us on an individual basis. So maybe you're planning to write an article, a blog, or a social media post. You may even have a book inside you. Have you used AI to create any content yet? If not, you should. Give it a try. If you do, I think you'll be impressed. You'll be impressed with its capabilities, its speed, and the responses. And when you're using it, I suggest using the words please and thank you. It makes it a fun experience for you. Please and thank you to a machine? Yeah. Is this the beginning of humanizing our AI programs? I don't know. When robots act human, will we treat them like a machine or a person? The lines of what is real and what is not is already being blurred by deep fakes and those audio assistants that sound surprisingly human. However, no matter how intelligent AI becomes or how human AI may sound, its limitations should prevent it from replacing our humanity. AI can write a story, but AI cannot feel a story. AI can create faster than us, but AI cannot experience emotion. AI can write about morals, but it cannot take responsibility. So go ahead, write, create, publish something. Open up any generative AI tool and talk to it as your writing assistant. Use your story, your experience, and your ideas to publish an article, blog post, or even an outline for a book. You know, your story might not cure cancer or save a life, but then again, your story might not cure cancer or save a life, but then again, maybe it will. What if someone who hears your story is moved to change their life? What if someone who reads your story becomes the next Martin Luther King or Mother Teresa? Our stories matter. Your story matters. Your story matters more today than at any time in history. Any time in history? Yeah. Why is that? Most authors take months or years to research, draft, edit, polish, proof, publish a book. Our good friends at Amazon know AI is coming. They're already anticipating a massive influx of books. They recently announced a limit to the number of books you can upload to no more than 3 per day. Per day. So as AI creates libraries of content at warp speed, your story infused with your heart and soul will be a notable differentiator that will help you rise above the tsunami of AI content that is coming. The question isn't really, is AI going to create jobs or eliminate jobs? It's going to do both. The real question, the important question, is how do we embed our humanity into the machine-generated content? In my opinion, there are 3 key ways to infuse humanity into our new world of generative AI. The first is experience. Being human is so unique. You're 1 in 7 billion. Share those experiences that you've had, the only you've had, and wrap up in a story. Number 2, emotion. My gosh, even writing a technical paper, put a story in there, it'll make it more interesting. And the third thing is heart. AI requires a human perspective. While these machines can regurgitate our words, it cannot interlace the energy behind them. Now, as AI becomes better at an exponential rate, the volume, speed, and quality will reshape not only our jobs, our economy, and our culture. It's going to do much more than that. And above all else, understand the one thing that is purely human, the one thing that no matter how good or fast AI becomes, will be the dividing line between technology and humanity. Responsibility. Now, we are entering uncharted territory that only science fiction writers have ever explored. We're living in a point in history that will be studied in the books of the future. Embracing AI may be uncomfortable, but it is unavoidable. Tell your story, share it, and use AI as your assistant. Let it give you some structure or whip up a headline or give you an outline. It's going to be interesting for you. But before you hit publish, I believe it's your responsibility to infuse your story with the heart and soul and experience that only you possess. And never forget, you are the author. It's not just your name that you attach to what you create. It's your character, it's your brand, and it's your reputation that are at stake here. So sure, AI can help you create content, but ultimately, AI cannot and will not ever be responsible. Responsibility, like all things human, is up to you. Thank you.